Last time on Sailing Aedis, we left A Coruña to its cruise ships, and we found some tapas and tenacious barnacles in the quaint streets of Bayona.
Brenton's in his happy place.
Food's amazing.
It's really good, isn't it?
Just coming down, right, and now there's actually barnacles on the handrail. After spending a couple of days resting and eating in Bayona, we were ready to set sail again. We decided to make the most of the Portuguese trade winds and sail the entire west side of the Portuguese coast and around Cape St. Vincent, about 380 nautical miles, which would take us 3 days and nights. What you doing?
God damn dishes. I'm doing the dishes. I'm doing the dishes.
Yep.
On our way to Portugal.
Yep.
We've got ships passing us on every side. 2 big cargo ships have just come past and a fishing boat. And there is very little wind. It's like
it is slow.
6-7 knots of wind. We're doing about 3 knots on average. We've got the Schoemaker up. We're downwind, so our apparent wind speed's like 4 or 5 knots. So
yeah, we need a bit more than that to get going.
yeah, so just downloading the new weather forecast from Predict Wind, and hopefully it shows it increasing overnight a bit. At this rate we'll be in the Mediterranean next year sometime.
Yeah.
But at the same time we are moving in the right direction. It's slow, but
yeah,
you know,
it's that payoff.
We're not on the engines, we're not using the diesel, so it's kind of a good thing.
So we have been doing stuff. You can see here I've been making some road protectors for our Schoemaker lines. Moment of truth.
Moment of truth.
So far.
Old, which is actually a sacrificial sock of mine. Granny knots holding it on. Very beautiful.
Very nice.
Can't take that
off.
off.
Take that off.
So the reason we've done this is because on the starboard side the line actually wore through the ship in one section to the core of the rope.
Yeah, so you can see where it's frayed through.
And then we've made these up to that, or made one. We're going to make another one now.
That's good though. Well, hopefully.
Yeah, so that's protected here and here. And when we actually roll the Schoemaker up, we'll be able to slide it up to the other position where it rubs when we're underway.
Cool. Well, hopefully that does the trick.
That'll be heaps better. They don't look half bad.
No. Quite proud of myself.
Good work. Alright, I think this is still good.
Yeah.
This needs to go through the wash. It's a bit stretched out though.
Ah, it'll function.
It'll function. Get that cleaned up.
Yep.
Put it back on.
Never throw out a good pair of socks.
No, it's like shouldn't go anywhere without a towel.
That's right.
Looking at this weather system, everything's lining up. The 4 different prediction models, all for northerly trade winds down the western coast of Portugal. You can see green and yellows and oranges and a little bit of red is really good for us. Darker reds are really what you want to avoid. But we're going with the wind down the coast, possibly all the way to the most, I guess the southwestern tip of Portugal before spinning around the corner to go through the Straits of Gibraltar. But we'll see how we go. We've had a very slow start up here. So, coming up to the border, the water border between Spain and Portugal. We're about to go into Portugal.
I must have felt the border coming. That's what made me wake up. I was like, Portugal. Our nose is in Portugal.
Nose is in Portugal. Goodbye Spain.
Bye bye Spain.
I hope Portugal has tapas.
Oh, I know. Tapas is great.
Tapas.
because we need it. And then at night we split the darkness hours into 2 3-hour shifts and 2 2-hour shifts. So we've got 10 PM to 12 PM, 12 to 3, 3 to 6 and 6 to 8. And that seems to be working alright at the moment. And because I can't really balance cold when we're underway with cooking and stuff, I tend to do all of the logbook and marking on the paper map. So every start and end of every shift, or every time anything changes, like a drive or change direction or whatever. And Brenton does a lot of the cooking and food preparation and stuff. So yeah, I think it's all coming together.
Morning. Day 3. We decided to just continue on. We've got good weather, the right direction, slightly heavier than yesterday, 20 knots, the swells 1.5 maximum as it is now, and yeah, we're thinking we'll just crack off the next 150 nautical miles, get down to the very far tip of Portugal, whereas going down to have a couple of hours sleep. That's probably the hardest thing about these crossings or these passages, just the two of us, is the night watch shifts, making sure we get enough sleep during the next day. It's obviously tiring. We're still learning how to sail this boat to its best abilities, but today, for whatever reason, the conditions are right, and we've got I'm just managing to keep the jib, the mainly goose-winged, and it's quite balanced like that with the autopilot on. We're still working out the autopilot settings. That seems to you need to change that every now and then, depending on conditions. But this is giving us a good heading and good speed of about 7 knots on average. So got one reef in the main. True wind speeds around 18, 19 knots at the moment. Forecast is predicting that it might pick up a few more knots. Got some wind now.
Yeah. Got around 25 knots of wind. And we are doing pretty consistently almost 8 knots. Very contained, the jib's still out. But some of these waves just surfing down and then it's like a bit hard to control with the autopilot, hence the hand steering. I reckon the waves are about 2 metres.
Some of them are 2 metres, yeah.
Between 1.5 and 2 metres.
Yeah.
That's generally fine, but then every now and then you get this set of really big ones. About 60 miles to get around the corner.
Southwest tip of Portugal, and then we'll get into much lighter winds, protected by the land. So
that should be around midnight.
Midnight, 2 AM. See how quickly we move. Good morning. It's your favourite time. 10 to 3.
We made it into Portimão on the south coast of Portugal on the morning of our 4th day at sea. We were pretty tired, but unfortunately we'd broken one of our reefing line pulleys en route and had to get it fixed within the couple of days we were in port.
We've just fit the new pulley into the end of the boom here. These are the reefing lines, these 3 green and 2 blues. What we did was effectively when we rehoisted the mainsail, against the first reefing pulley. Basically the sheath has been slowly pulling off the core. Now the issue is we had pre-marked the rope on the sheath, the positions of the reef. So when we've hoisted to the new reef position, we've over hoisted it by that much because the sheath has slipped, and using the electric winch, it is literally, the rope has pulled and destroyed that black pulley. We are now in the process of putting whipping twine on all of our ropes. So Claire's actually up the front here, doing the whipping on all of the reefing lines, and then she's going to do the halyard at the back, aren't you, Claire?
Yep.
So you just learn good old
interwebs
how to do a whipping.
Which apparently adds great prestige to your boat, so we're going to be super prestigious. So Brenton, how's it going?
Yeah, it's a bit wet. we went out in the dinghy with the wind. And we didn't really think about the fact that we'd be coming back against the wind.
So we're going for a swim whether we like it or not.
Yeah, it's a bit cold with the
When we're moored like this is how we have to get back to the back of our boat.
Just don't line us up.
Lining us up. So lie flat.
Need a little bit forward. Look,
Duck.
watch your head. Got the little drain bit here. Duck again. Duck.
I'm ducking. Got these little fish that hang out underneath our boat. You can't really see them with the GoPro. But they just hang out and clean our hull for us. It's pretty good.
Alright, we're in.
We're in. Oh, that was exciting. Next time on Sailing Aedis, we're able to strip off some fleece layers as we dodge cargo ships sailing the Straits of Gibraltar to finally arrive in the Mediterranean. What do you want to know? What do you want to ask the interwebs?
So I'm looking to know from experienced catamaran sailors their techniques and methods for sailing as close downwind as they can. We seem to be fine down to sort of 150, 160 apparent, but when we get really close to dead downwind, sort of around the 180 mark, we have a lot of trouble with the self-tacking jib jibing its way, flicking across back and forth between goose-winged and normal, and we find that I guess we're just finding it difficult to know the best way of setting up the boat for those conditions. We don't have a spinnaker. I guess it's more in the heavier conditions that we're thinking about.
You could probably go up there looking like that.
Look at all the people, they're wearing like suits and stuff. Maybe that's for later.
Whereas you've got the wet t-shirt competition down.
Yeah. Hello!
Yoo-hoo! Look at my nipples!
Would you like to buy me a drink?